Well,
Okay.
I think it's time again to make a new type of bar for dessert for graduation parties and other events coming up. So this is, I think, one of my new favorite bars. We just keep getting more and more new favorites
We're gonna run out of a list of favorites. The paper's gonna
because
fill
there's
up.
so many.
Yeah.
So this is a new favorite.
Okay.
So these are called chocolate crumb bars,
Okay.
and we're going to start out by making a crust. Part of the ingredients will be on the bottom of the pan, and then part on the top. So
Okay.
we're going to start with 1 3/4 cup flour.
I get the honors?
You get the honors.
Okay.
Half a cup of sugar,
All
and the
right.
recipe actually calls for just mixing this by hand. But because I like using the food processor, we're just going to do that. Okay.
Okay.
2 sticks of butter. If you make this by hand, then you're going to want your butter softer.
Okay.
But by using the food processor, I've had it out of the refrigerator for maybe 45 minutes or so.
So you want it a little bit soft?
A little bit soft. Yep.
See, like when I make scones, I have to have the butter sticks frozen
Right.
when I cut it
Yeah.
into the blender or the food processor. But
Yeah.
these are supposed to be a little bit
It's a little bit
tempered
soft,
up.
so that's fine. Okay.
Okay,
So then
and
just
just chunks?
chunk it as you put it in.
Okay.
You can just. Now, if you want an easy way, this is how we do this.
Like,
We're always looking for easy.
Yeah.
So you just hang on to it.
oh, there you go. So I
And
don't
do
have
it like that,
So I don't
okay?
have to do that fall on the
We're
table
always
thing.
teaching each other new things. It's
There you go.
amazing after a while when you are making a lot of things, any little suggestions are
Shortcuts are
helpful.
always
Right.
helpful.
Yep.
There we go.
And your second one. And then about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
That
Okay,
was
so
not
we
a
just
quarter, was it?
that
like
was
a
about
sprinkle.
that was about a 1/4.
Because
The
everybody
butter
needs
is actually salted, so we don't
everybody
need
needs their iodine. That's why you put a
as
little
much,
salt
okay?
in there. Okay.
So today, surprisingly, this is
Whoops.
June
Put the paper in there.
26th, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And after experiencing, 3 days of summer, we're kind of, seem to be back on that
Yeah.
downside of
Yeah, high
getting
of-
towards fall or
High of
something.
63. It feels like fall out there yesterday and today.
Okay, then we're just going to process this until it's nice and crumbly.
Pulse it a little bit first.
Yep.
Okay. And is it
Just
crumbly yet?
We'll just take this off
There.
and stop.
When it starts
When
rumbling,
it starts rumbling, then you
then
know.
you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Spin that around like so.
Okay, that looks good.
And
Then
now
we're just going to dump the whole thing out into this dish. We're going to take this off so that doesn't come out.
Fall out.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we can just move this whole contraption over.
All right.
Okay. Just stir this around a little bit more. Like I said, if you were doing this by hand, that's the consistency.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want it
So
kind of-
we're going to put
Kind of gummy looking.
2 cups in the pan, which Gary is now going to spread out, pack it down in
pack it down?
nicely. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's going to be a very thin layer the way it feels, isn't it?
Here,
Give
we'll
me a
just
little
add a
more.
little bit more then.
Thank you.
But that's good. So anyway, it's way too cool, I think, although we met a friend at church who loves 60-degree weather in the summertime.
Yeah, he likes that for the high for the whole summer, 60. It's like, oh boy.
I mean, I don't necessarily like it when it's 90 and
No, not when it's
major
miserably
humidity. but-
humid. And we get those days. We had 3 or 4 of them already this summer.
Yeah.
But like I was saying before, I think we've had our summer. Okay.
So you've got some.
Gotta get a little space.
Little
See, it's
pieces
starting to get-
missing
Starting to get a little
there.
tight. Can you give me a little more?
I will give you a little bit more.
There. A little over there.
There's more that was kind of
Yeah, there's
missing
some.
and some more missing right
Yeah,
there.
yep.
It's kind of like, any
See,
crunk.
it's getting kind of
Okay,
it's
here.
getting kind
Should I
of
finish?
sticky. Yeah,
Let me
it's getting, my
finish.
fingers are getting
Okay.
sticky here, so I'll let you. You can be the closer, as they say. in
Sometimes
baseball.
if you use your palm, just
Okay.
to, if your fingers are getting too sticky, then that's
Okay.
what I do too.
Okay.
But it's like, a lot of the recipes that we make that have the bottom on the crust, it'll tell you maybe save out you know, 1.5 cups or 2 cups for the topping.
Yeah.
But if you need more
How's that look?
for the bottom, we're just,
Okay.
I think, gonna call that good.
Okay. Now we put it in the oven at 350.
So 350 in a preheated oven.
Okay.
And this is going to bake, just stay on just a minute.
Yep.
If that'll help or not. Okay, 350-degree oven and bake for 10 to 12 minutes until it starts to get a little bit brown, like around the
on the
edges.
edges?
Okay, yep,
Okay. Put that over here.
get that.
10 to 12 minutes.
10 to 12 minutes. Okay, now while that is baking, Gary is going to go over to the stove, and we have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, which I already poured in here, and 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, which he is going to melt. Now, the whole recipe actually called for 2 cups of chocolate chips, but I mistakenly put in the whole 2 cups the last time I made this,
Oh,
so it
yeah.
was extra fudgy.
Right.
But I thought it was a little bit fudgier than what we might want, so we're going to do 1.5 cups
Okay.
for the filling, and then an additional about 1 cup for the topping.
Okay,
so
so melt this
2.5
in.
total cups, and you've got your
Melt this
spoon
in.
over there ready to
Okay.
go.
All right.
And melt it on kind of low,
Kind of, like a medium low?
medium low,
Okay,
and you don't
so-
want to bring it to a boil or anything.
No,
Just have it all melted. Okay, it's time to take the bars out. So Gary can bring
the
those
crust
over.
out, you mean?
Yes, the
for now?
crust.
Oh,
Crust
we want the-
for the bars.
We want that left on,
You
don't
need
we?
that left on, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you can bring those over here.
Okay.
Now you just took this off of the
Stove, and I
stove.
need to add a little
so you're
vanilla.
going to add about a teaspoon
I'll
of
let you do
vanilla.
that.
Okay, and then you probably want to use your other spoon there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about a teaspoon there.
Okay.
Let's get this out of the way a little bit so you don't burn yourself.
Okay.
So, like I said, it's more chocolatey, fudgy tasting than what the recipe called for, but not as fudgy as the last time that
Right.
we made them.
It's like in between.
Right. Then when you're
There.
done with that, okay,
Now,
then we're going to
We're
have
gonna
you
pour.
pour those evenly, pour the chocolate evenly, and while Gary is pouring the chocolate in the pan, then to that remaining crumbs, I'm going to add a cup of chopped walnuts and then another cup of chocolate chips. And then just stir that around. And sometimes I forget, you know, because I hadn't made these for a while. The last time I was prepared just to put the crumbs on top and then put
Oh, yeah.
the nuts and the chocolate chips on top of that, because that's also how some other recipes, you know, go.
yeah.
But this
That
one we're
stuff is
going to
really
do like this.
sticky to the
Yeah,
pan,
it
isn't
is.
it?
Sometimes, yeah, that's fine.
Is that good enough?
That's good.
Do I get to eat the rest out then after the show?
Sure, after the show.
Okay. I like this idea.
Then why don't we just use
Scrape this
that
off.
to scrape, okay?
And then you want this all leveled off,
Yep,
right?
please.
Why am I doing this now then? Let me just do this
What
first.
was it that you were doing?
I was cleaning
Oh,
off
I
my
was
scraper.
going to have you use the knife.
Okay. All right. Whoops.
Okay,
Oops.
I'm going to use the knife.
Okay.
Okay.
See, this is why I'm assistant to the chef.
Yeah.
Assistant to the baker because
Sometimes assistants lose their jobs.
sometimes they do. That's why we're going to have you
Well,
finish.
you know that you're already
finish this
might
off.
be replaced with your
Oh, yes.
cupcake
We
decorating
had a helper the other day
with
was doing
Brianna's
cupcake
sister.
decorating, and boy, she knocked them out of the park.
She decorated about 200.
And that was good because I had a
cupcakes.
lot of outdoor yard work to do. And she filled in for me and did a superb job.
Well, I think sometimes the hardest part, you know, when you're just a small business like we are, and, you know, we make things for our customers and you want to make sure that it's the best that it can be, and sometimes
and you have trouble letting go.
hesitate.
And I didn't, and I let it go, and you were
So I
just
let
fine.
it go, and I thought, "Ugh, I should have let it go a long time ago.
all this time, I could have
You could have been replaced.
I could have been replaced and didn't know it. Okay, do you want to
So
do the edge or just leave it like
that's
that?
good. So we're
Okay.
giving a shout out to Kaylin Speth today, okay?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Now, that can go back in the oven?
No, it can't.
Oh, no, we got to put
So
this stuff
now
on.
we're going to put this on. Since my hands are sticky after I get this all on, then you're just going to kind of lightly tap it down then, okay?
With, a
with your
knife,
hand.
With my hands. Okay.
And just kind of keep stirring around your mixture because your crumbs and walnuts will kind of go to the bottom of your dish. What I also liked, you know, the last time when I had a few less chocolate chips, it seemed like the chocolate chips stayed better in that whole consistency after it was baked. Sometimes you also have your chips falling off.
Yep, just pour
I'm
it
just
on.
gonna pour it
There you
on. And then just even it
pat
off really
just
well.
Even it and pat it a little bit too?
Yes, just so it's all kind of patted down into the chocolate
chocolate.
mixture a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Like so. Like so?
Yes. That's
So
hot.
that's a little warm.
And you can get a few more chocolate chips and nuts right there.
There. Not too hard. Just so they're patted
Okay.
into the hot
Right.
fudge.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to put that back in the oven.
It's still hot.
Keep it on the 350.
Okay.
Got that? Got it here.
Yes, I do. And how many minutes?
25 to 30. So we'll start at 25. So when they start browning, then they'll be done.
Okay.
And we just happen to have some made.
Look at that.
And now I've had them in the refrigerator, so
So they're gonna be-
so you probably could have one, but
Well, you know what?
you could.
I think I'll pass on that.
Do you think you're going to?
I think I'm going to.
Okay.
But that's
So
what-
anyway,
that's-
that's how they look when
that's
they're
how
all
they look.
done. And they cut up. You can actually cut them in different sizes.
Sure.
If you wanted
You
to.
can do small, half that, little mini bite sizes.
Right, and you could even do, if you wanted to, have a fancy up your tray, you could cut some of these into triangles and
Sure.
just,
Yeah,
have
because
kind of like a
they will
different.
hold together okay,
Exactly.
won't they? The triangle.
And these held together really well.
Yeah.
And if
Excellent.
the nuts and the chips fall off, then you just
Yeah.
clean out the pan when you're
I'm
all
gonna
done.
I'm gonna wait till the second batch comes out of the oven, and it'll be nice and warm.
Oh, warm
Those
is good.
Warm is good. Those will be even better.
So, okay.
Yes, so-
Well, we have completed this show, and I think we have to get you outside because
Okay.
you need to
I
clean
got
up
some
that
yard
yard
work to
before it
do.
rains on
That-
us.
That's right. So,
So I think we're going to sign off. So from a slice of heaven, actually it's Cooking with Ruth and
yes,
Gary.
and Gary, thank you.
Happy cooking and have a great day. Did you turn the oven on?
No, I was going to do that right away.
One thing he had to do, couldn't even remember. He saw you guys, totally lost his head.
I'm trying to warm you up.
Okay, I am warm.
My hand's cold. I'm warming my hand up. I took it off. See how I took that off? This is how you stay young.
Only after
Ooh,
you,
it smells like I
only
burned it.
after you burned it. Oh my gosh.
No, this is going to taste fine. You said you had to get all the chunks out of here. Here,
Could
here,
I,
here.
could I just see this? Oh, it's fine. All right. Yeah, those are just the burnt things now.
No. Tell me it's not burnt. We took it off
Let's
right
just
away.
say I'm not going to be selling this to anybody.